Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Colleen at crackedfemalcode.com. Okay, so today we're going to talk about something that women get really mad at. Now, it's kind of an odd thing. You think like, wow, that's really selfish. If you can't see it from the right perspective, it's actually a really good thing. If she's doing this, it means she's holding on to you. So here's the deal. It comes from the caveman era. It comes from when women had to rely on a caveman to protect and provide for them, okay? And this is pretty much true almost all the way up to around the 1900s, very early to about 1940. After that, not so much, but it's still... Now here's the thing you gotta understand. I don't think I've ever said this. Actually I have said this. Women are hardwired this way. So even though she can go to college, get her doctorate degree, start a $1 million corporation, and on, this is just hardwired into women. And if you don't do something, if you don't do things in a certain way, she's going to get upset, she's going to get scared, and she eventually is going to leave. Okay, the music's going to go down right now. Okay, so all I'm saying right now, I'm going to dive right into it, is the things that I teach you are hardwired neurologically in her nervous system, in her brain, and also in her DNA. This is why my course is so effective, because you're literally triggering her neurological DNA needs. And once you trigger this, she's going to want to cling to you, hold on to you, make love to you. She's going to want to make you happy. If you don't do these things, she's going to be miserable. So that's why I call my course Cracked Female Code. Okay, the music's going to go down in a little bit, probably about 25-30 seconds, a little bit more. Alright, so here's the deal. Here was the weirdest thing in the world to me when it came to understanding. I would say the first time I started to really get pissed off about it was with my high school girlfriend, who I was with for 4.5 years. So I remember I'd be in a great mood, win a football game, or something amazing happened, and I came back and I gave her a hug, so happy and stuff, and she would be fucking miserable. And I was like, and I remember after about a year of this bullshit, so it's probably the second or third year, I finally just one day go, what? And I go, what is your fucking problem? What the fuck? It's like, no matter what I do, you're fucking pissed. It was like I could do no fucking right. Men, does that sound familiar? Oh my god. Guys, we go through a lot of bullshit and a lot of hell, but believe it or not, when you start to understand it, you're like, oh, okay. So there's a lot of things you learn in my course where it starts to smooth things out a lot. The greatest part about my course is it really teaches you how to turn a woman on by meeting her needs, mental stimulation and emotional fulfillment. You're like, wait, what? Yep, it's not physical, it's something else. Okay, so here's the deal. I did not figure it out with my high school girlfriend. We eventually broke up. It was just a fucking nightmare. Like, what the fuck? And then I didn't actually date for 2 years or so in college because I couldn't get a girl. I couldn't get a girl to date me. And then finally this one girl really took to me. And then all of a sudden this Asian girl started flirting with me and talking to me and trying to, just ask me questions. It was just kind of obnoxious because at the time I'm on my radar, women that were not white didn't come up as dating possibilities. I never even thought about it. It wasn't that I was against it. It just because I'd never dated anyone other than a white woman, I just never thought of it. So eventually she asked me out, and all of a sudden, boom, after a few months, Asian women and other women and women of color just popped up on the radar all of a sudden. Alright, so I'm dating this Asian girl. She's Laotian. She's cute. I think I was 21. She was 19 something. I think we were about a year and a half or 2.5 years apart. And we dated for quite a while. And after the first year or so, she started bitching and moaning and complaining. I'd be in a good mood. Something good would happen. I won this big kickboxing match on the national level. It was just, man, I was going through a pretty good time. And she would just would be kind of miserable, would disappear, get really quiet, and I'm like, what the fuck's the problem? Now here's the deal. I've seen dozens, if not hundreds, of my high school friends go through it. College friends, kickboxing, sparring partners, coaches, my friends' fathers. It was just like, what? Like, why are women so miserable? What is the fucking problem? So you win a state championship, a football championship, or you get good grades, or you go on a fishing trip and you had so much fun, you came back and you want to share the joy with your wife, your girlfriend, or whatever. And then they kind of get pissed and they start fucking treating you like shit and getting angry at you. And you're like, what is the deal? And the answer that I'm going to give you, it might even piss you off because it doesn't make sense, but I'm going to break it down to where it will make sense, and that's the goal of my course. Here's the deal. I've actually said it. I've actually heard friends of mine saying, I've seen it on TV shows, like, why do you just want to make me miserable? Like, I'm not allowed to be happy, because that's what it feels like. It's almost as if, like, when you're happy, she says, oh yeah, no, not on my watch, fucker, and she goes after you. And it really, after years of dating or being in a relationship with a woman, you really believe, like, she will not let me be happy. She is going to do everything in her power to make me miserable. Not quite. It's actually not that sinister. And it's kind of, especially in the modern world, it's kind of fucked up. It's kind of stupid. It's like, all that misery for that? Well, it's hardwired into her, but let me explain what it is first, because you're going to be shocked. Let's say you went on this amazing fishing trip in the Florida Keys, or maybe Hawaii, or wherever, maybe Southern California, whatever, or Alaskan trip maybe, I don't know. And you come home and you caught a couple of really big fish and amazing things happen, and she's just kind of and you're like, oh, she's getting pissed. Like, what's going on here? Like, why is she mad? I don't understand. I didn't do anything wrong. And she just starts picking you apart or gets mad about something totally separate, or accuses you of cheating on her. It could be any freaking bullshit. You're like, I don't understand. Like, why is it every time I'm happy, she has to, now listen closely, find a way to make me miserable, or find something and make it look like I've done something bad? Well, the second part, you're right. They are creating something that's not real. It's like they're looking for something. But here's the real question. Why? The answer is going to shock you. Because, I'm going to say it this way, but it's actually not this way. I'm going to say it this way, but correct it right away. Because your happiness is a threat to her. It's not your happiness that's a threat to her. The threat is that something else made you happy and it wasn't her. And that becomes a threat to her survival. I mean, literal survival. She starts to freak out. Let me word it in this way. Because she wasn't the source of your happiness, because she wasn't the one making you happy, it's a threat. Because she's afraid, again, this goes back to the caveman era, he doesn't need me, and if he leaves, I'm going to starve to death, I'm going to get raped, and all these cavemen might just beat the crap out of me or use me and basically dump me off. I mean, you got to understand, for a long time, even all the way up to about 1900, even in Western societies, most women needed men to survive. So if you left, they were screwed. Hell, even up into the 40s, and this is why they made these laws about divorce, and it was because of this. Men would be married, have kids with this beautiful wife, and now she's 32, 33 years old. She's kicked out 3 or 4 kids. She's gained some weight. She's not looking so good, but the 19-year-old teenage secretary, she's looking damn hot. Now he's 35 years old, or maybe 38, or maybe even 40, and they literally would dump off their wife and kids, kick them out of the house, and marry this girl, this young lady, and now would start a family with her and fall in love with her. And this is why the divorce courts go, wait a minute, we can't have, kids being thrown out on the street because this dude's horny for another girl. Like, what the hell? So that's why they made laws where you had to pay, a certain amount of money. Now that's been taken advantage of, has gone through the roof and outrageous. But the law originally was to put a roof over their head, food on the tables, and clothes on their back. It's not like it was now. But the point being is, even into the 40s, women were desperate to have men because they couldn't work for themselves, because they couldn't pay their own bills, because that's the way society was, even in America. What I'm trying to say to you is this, but Mike, it's not that way anymore. They can go to college, they can get it, and they can. But you don't understand something. This is in their reptilian brain. This is in their mating system, which is inside the reptilian brain, the fight or flight instinctual brain. This is the survival brain. It doesn't know what a bank account is. It doesn't know what taxes are. It doesn't know what computers are. It doesn't know what a refrigerator is or a freezer or a grocery store. It doesn't know what storage bins are. It doesn't have no idea. It's survival. You've got to hunt every day. You got to gather food every day. You got to be protected every day. You got to take care of the children every day. That's the way it thinks. It doesn't understand what a dollar bill is. It's almost as if it can't see dollar bills or grocery stores. Your left and right brain can see those things, but the lower reptilian brain doesn't understand that. It doesn't come up on the radar. So my point, and the reason why I'm sharing this with you, is because this has been hardwired into women since pretty much day one, up until around 1970, when women had the right to vote, they had the right to work, and then they got the pill, which means now they had control over their body when they wanted to get pregnant. So now they could plan things and decide things, save up money, etc., etc. And that's when women truly had independence. Now, women are in an era where it doesn't make sense to their neurology, and they're confused. And now we're confused, and what the hell's going on? And why are everyone going haywire right now? Well, there's a couple answers that'll help you out. Okay, I came back to edit this. What I'm trying to say is this is hardwired into her nervous system and DNA. It doesn't matter if we live in the modern world. Her unconscious reptilian system turns on, boom, this is survival. I must hold on to him. I must fight for him. It is hardwired into her. And you're not going to change that in 40 years. Or even 100 years. Maybe 1,000 years, but it's going to be a while. And we're definitely nowhere near that right now, okay? So let's go back to your regular listening. Remember, as I said in last videos, I'm going to go really quick over this because I don't want to go over this too much. Remember, women would work hard to keep their man around all the way up until the 40s. This is a very hardwired DNA thing from the caveman era, where women needed a man to survive and to stay alive and to be protected, and her children. So she had to fight to keep you around. Now, if another woman came along and started getting your attention and making you happy, that was a threat. And guess what? It's still the same today. If another woman starts making you happy, she's going to get worried. Oh shit, is he going to leave me? Oh shit, how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to pay the mortgage? How am I going to keep a roof over my head and my children's heads? So that actually never went away. It's still there. Now, here's the part that you don't quite understand. You don't have to do anything wrong. If you have a hobby that you really, really like fishing or skiing or hunting or bowling or who knows what, lifting weights, and that makes you happy, that, my friend, is a threat. Okay, edit number 2. Anything that takes you away from her or could possibly take you away from her is a threat, even when it's not a threat. It doesn't matter. This is neurology. It's her hardwiring from the caveman era up until 1900s, and it is still the same as it was back then. So anything that makes you happy threatens her from losing you. Now, it's not true, but that's the way she's going to react. Now, if you understand this, it might help you in your relationship. All right, let's go back to your regular listening. This last segment was an edit, by the way. Kind of messed up, huh? But it comes back from the caveman era if another woman tried to pull you away. If another guy tried to pull you away, okay? Like a buddy. This is why women run off your friends, they run off your buddies, and they attack your hobbies. They attack the things that make you happy. So here's the deal. Number 1, if a woman is doing this, if she's getting upset and angry because something's making you happy, it means she's fighting for you. That is a good thing. She really wants you. But there's a little trick here that you got to be careful of. if you start giving up your hobbies, or if your hobbies start making you miserable because she makes you miserable, and all of a sudden you go from this guy that's independent, has his life and has his hobbies and his friends and buddies, and all that slowly starts going away, you start becoming depressed. You start becoming bored. You don't bring that happiness and excitement home anymore. Now here's the stupid part. Now she's going, oh, where's the happiness? Where's the excitement? This guy is boring. The right brain needs stimulation. It needs excitement. It needs fun. So if you give this stuff up, you, like a buddy of mine, actual buddy of mine from childhood, he quit his dream job. He got the job. He got his captain bars. He was a private elite, what do they call it's private jet. He would executive pilot. He'd fly, executives around the country. She convinced him to give that up when he was at the top of his field, making the top dollar. And then he ended up flying it was like a FedEx plane. He was making like $80,000 a year compared to $200,000, and he was miserable. It wasn't exciting. He didn't come home all proud of his work. And he would say, Michael, when I used to walk in airports, those other people that would fly like those jumbo jets or FedEx, they would look at me and I could tell that they wanted to have my job, but they didn't. They were, I don't think he used the word jealous, but they basically wanted the job. He felt so proud of his work. All that was taken away because he quit his job to appease her. Well, guess what happened? About a year later, she divorced him. Here's the deal. Women are hardwired to fight for you. When a woman is mad because you came home happy because of your job, or because of your fishing expedition, or because of a hobby that you have, from bowling to hunting to fishing to whatever, this means this is a green flag. This is a green sign. This means she's still fighting for you, which means she's holding on to you. This is a good thing. I'm going to tell you right now, the biggest mistake men make is they think, oh, things are peaceful now. Oh, she's quiet. She doesn't bitch and complain anymore. That is not a good thing. Most men think, wow, we finally made it. We're at a good place where we get along now, and she doesn't yell at me and scream at me and complain. Like, no, I'm telling you, if a woman goes silent, if things become peaceful and she doesn't complain at least a little bit here and there, your relationship is over. She's already on the way out. When my buddy told me he quit his job, I'm like, no, why did you do that? He goes, oh, well, Chrissy wanted me to quit. She's been complaining for years and years about it, wanted me to get a job closer to home and spend more time with the kids, because his job, he could be gone for 2 or 3 days, waiting in California at a hotel for the business meeting to get over for 1 or 2 or 3 day meeting, and then he'd fly everyone back. Then he had like a 6-hour drive home from the airport where his plane was, and et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, no, why did you do that? Oh, dude, you're ruining your marriage. Oh, you got to get it back. He says, well, no, she actually says she's happy now. I'm like, does she bitch and moan and complain? He goes, well, no. I'm like, and I told him, dude, she's going to divorce you within 2 years or less. And sure enough, he called me up about a year and a half. It was about a year, maybe a year and a half later. And he goes, you're not going to believe this. I go, let me guess. She just filed for divorce. He goes, yeah, how'd you know? Did she call you? I'm like, dude, I haven't talked to Chrissy since 7th grade. So here's the deal. I go, why did you quit your job? He goes, well, I don't know. Like one day I just finally heard, listened to what she was saying. I go, what do you mean finally? He goes, well, before I would just laugh at her. I didn't even really hear what she was saying. I mean, I knew she wanted me to quit my job and, be closer to home and spend more time with the kids. But I go, what? He goes, I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was a joke. I said, yeah, that's good. That's good. He goes, what do you mean? I go, that means you're doing what you want. And that's what she ultimately wants. She's just testing you. She's just challenging you. I go, when you quit on yourself. You quit on your dreams, which means you're not a man. So here's the deal. She actually started complaining more about stupid shit, about the garbage, about this, about that. I was like, really? He goes, yeah, she's just like nonstop about just stupid bullshit. Now, she didn't complain about his job anymore, about his hobbies. No, that just all stopped. I go, so what was it like before? He goes, well, I'd come home and walk in the door. The kids would run up and kind of tackle me to the ground in the living room. We'd play wrestle. And then what? And I go, then she would walk in and she would, you need to quit your job. You need to spend more time with the kids, blah, blah. And he goes, And he goes, and I go, and then what? He goes, then, I'd walk in the kitchen and say, what's for dinner, honey? And then she would come. I go, let me guess. And I would stop him. She would run in after you from the living room. She'd wrap her arms around you and say, what do you want? In a happy, like really proud kind of way. He goes, yeah, she did. I go, so how long did she bitch and moan and complain before, like when things were going good when you were married? He goes, I don't know, about 2 or 3 minutes. I'm like, what did it become like after that? He goes, it's like she's having these panic attacks and she's screaming at me. And I go, how long does it last? He goes, forever. It's like all day long. It never stops. I go, so you gave up 2 or 3 minutes of bitching and moaning. I go, was it every day? She says, no, just the first day I'd come home. I go, so once or twice a week she'd do. He goes, yeah, because I'd be gone twice and I'd come home twice, so about twice a week. I go, so for about 6 minutes total a week, times 4 is 24 minutes out of a month. And now it's, what would you say? He goes, oh, it's hours. Hours a day. I go, so you gave up your top paying job, your pride, everything that you dreamed of, your dream job, and just for a little bit of complaining. And now she complains all the time. You haven't had sex in 4 months or 5 months. She doesn't even sleep in the same room with you and on. He goes, yeah. I go, wow, good choice, bro. Here's what I'm trying to say. It's hardwired into women to complain about things that make you happy. If she's doing that, that's actually a good thing. If she stops complaining about the things that make you happy, that's when you're in trouble. When she starts complaining about taking out the garbage and now this problem, that problem, and all these other stuff that have nothing to do with your happiness, your joy, your hobbies, going on trips, fishing trips, that's the wrong kind of complaining. That means there's something wrong in the relationship. So when she's complaining about the garbage, she's not complaining about you taking out the garbage, I guarantee it. Because she could take it out by herself if she really wanted to. And it really isn't a matter of getting you, it's an indirect way of telling you, hey, something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. Meaning, you need to do something. So I digress on that final subject, but I hope you got the message. If she's complaining about things that make you happy, believe it or not, I know it sounds nuts, that's actually a good thing. Hey, if you want to buy my book, Crack the Female Code, go to crackthefemalecode.com and buy it right now. Remember, click subscribe, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, I have a 5 to 6 day training course for men for Crack the Female Code. See you guys in the next video. Bye.